Junior, he's just come down as well. I guess a lot of these guys I've been able to play with this year because I've been injured. I haven't been able to play myself, but I've learned to sort of be mates with these guys, and also probably James Bartlett, a few of them, David Wojcinski, and there's a few other young kids around, Danny O'Brien and Peter Street, who I spend a lot of my time with.
And they can all play pretty good footy, those boys too, can't they?
They can. They've learned to play, and it's going to make it a lot harder for me, so I guess I'll have to get my game ready to go next year.
Now, because you're playing, you obviously see lots of other players there. Which player from another club outside of Daniel Harford do you actually like to watch?
Do I like to watch? Oh, well, if I had to sort of say that, I mean, I still like to watch the guys that were my heroes when I was younger, but for someone who I still think is a great player is Andrew McLeod. I got the opportunity to play on him last year, and I took my opportunity, and I actually stayed on him all day, which I was pretty happy with, but he's just a fantastic player to watch. He's so skillful in that, and I'd probably learn a lot from it.
Well, you're very lucky, David, because one of Andrew McLeod's best friends and captain of the premierships he played in, Mark Bickley's in the Auskick kitchen today, helping us to develop our cooking skills.
Hi, I'm Mark Bickley and welcome to the Auskick kitchen. And today I'm going to show you a fun way you can eat fruit.
The 1997 AFL Coca-Cola Premiership Cup to the Adelaide Crows.
Now, we all know fruits are good for you, and they're full of vitamins and minerals and fibre. And today we're going to combine a few different fruits and make some fruit kebabs. All you need to do is grab some of your favourite fruits. I've used some pineapples, some strawberries, grapes, bananas, apple and rock melon. And if the fruits aren't bite-sized, just check with Mum and Dad, get permission to use a knife and just chop them up into small pieces. So just grab a skewer, be careful of the pointy end, and really just start threading the fruit on. It's a pretty simple process, doesn't matter what order you put it in. And probably the strawberries look the best, I think. Here we go, a couple more grapes, a bit of banana. Then we grab some yoghurt. You can use flavoured yoghurt or natural yoghurt. Probably best if we use one with no added sugar. Then we just dip the fruit in there. And we finish it off by putting in some desiccated coconut. And not only does it make it look great, but it makes it taste great too. So there's a fun way to enjoy your fruit.
That is a fun way to enjoy your fruit.
Hey, Bruiser?
Yeah?
Mark Bickley had his very own bruiser under his eye, didn't he?
He certainly did, and it was a good one too. I just wonder how he actually got it. It's a good look, of course. It might be makeup to show that he goes in hard and sort of for a bit of dramatic effect, as some people might be wanting to do it. But it looked really good fun. Hey, David, I'm told that you're a bit of a gut. Oh no, not a guts, like a big eater, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. I'm not saying you stuff your face to the point of, you know, really having to loosen your belt and falling asleep in the chair early in the evening. But what do you actually eat before a game of footy?
Before the game, Bruiser, we usually you usually don't eat your breakfast, but I guess leading up to the game in the nights before, you'd probably eat some pasta, which is I guess you probably don't like as much when you're younger, but you learn as you grow up. It's probably my favourite meal now, pasta. So anything Mum can whip up for me, I'll eat.
Now run us through a week at the Cats, David, because we know it's not all kicking footies. What else do you do?
During the week, you've got a lot of weight sessions and running sessions as well, and also there's also other sessions which we've talked about signing before, where you might do a signing session during the week, and then a lot of other guys would go out and do work, sort of uni courses or any sort of school work they can do, and a lot of guys just do general work. They run their own businesses and that, so it is pretty busy most of the time, and there is a lot of other things to do apart from the footy. I guess the kicking around and running around the oval side of it. Who
are the legends from the Cats that you sometimes see around the club?
The legends you see around will probably only this year it's come back since Gary Ablett Jr.'s been playing. Gary Ablett's probably been down there a bit, so I've actually met him a few times, but he sort of just keeps to himself and just likes to sort of hang around to sort of say a few things to his son. Also Bobby Davis is down there. There's a few other guys come down. Gary Hocking does a fair bit of work around there, and also Billy Brownless is around the club, and also Barry Stoneham.
Well, Gary Ablett was one of the great drop punt kicks for goal, and here today is Nathan Buckley to show us how to do wonderful drop punts for you at home.
The grip is the starting point, and as is the case with all kicks, it's very important to make sure you perform the drop punt reliably. The fingers need to be evenly spread along each side of the ball, with your thumbs extending to the top of the laces as you look down the ball. This is the grip for both left and right foot kicks. It may look like I'm squeezing the ball with both hands, but I'm really getting ready to guide the ball down with my right hand. My left is just supporting my grip. Make sure you have a nice balanced approach if you're having a set shot. Give yourself plenty of room when kicking over the man on the mark before you release the ball for the kick. When you do, guide it down with one hand and aim to kick the football on its bottom point. Remember, if you've made correct contact with the ball, hitting your laces and toes pointing to the target, it will spin backwards, as all beautiful drop punts do.
It's a very crowded forward line. It should suit Collingwood. Oh, he's gone the roost.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, yes. Mark the voice.
Kicked properly, the drop punt provides great accuracy and good distance, although you should practice kicking the drop punt over a range of distances. See how far you can kick it when you're warmed up, but also spend time practicing kicking it softly. You'll be amazed how often the shorter kick comes in handy.
Buckley into the pocket. How good was this kick? Great kick. How good was that? That is just a ripper.
Well, we just expect him to kick it. He's such a brilliant kick. Looks good. He's done it. He's kicked his 100th at the same time as he did last year.
There he is, Nathan Buckley, one of the best in the game. And Bruiser, being an elite football yourself, what's your opinion on the effectiveness of the drop punt?
Well, the drop punt, well executed, and Nathan Buckley, all the footballs tell me, but when you're kicked by Nathan Buckley and he does it beautifully, it's sort of like being in seventh heaven. You know that your purpose in the game is absolutely complete because well executed, other than those shocking mongrel torpedoes that footballers try to do. Honestly, they should be rubbed out. Hey, David, you've got a fan. You've got a big, big fan. And he's sitting there, he's just looking at you, Mervyn.
There he is.
Say hello to Mervyn.
Hey, Mervyn, how you doing, buddy?
He is just absolutely
Mervyn
starting. He can't speak.
does he?
He is absolutely in awe of you.
He's in awe. He certainly is. Good to have Mervyn on the couch with us, Bruiser.
It's about time because I had a call from Mum saying he wasn't getting enough airtime, so it's good to see him back on the couch with you, Daniel.
Fair enough. Now, David, is Geelong a footy mad town?
It is pretty much, and the good thing is now that we've won a few games in a row now that the town gets behind you, and I guess Geelong, as a town, relies on the football team winning. So if the football team's doing well, the town seems to run a lot more and a lot more efficiently, and the people are a lot more happy. So.
Well, speaking about mad about their footy, here are some Auskick players from the Central West and Central Desert. These kids are mad about the footy, and here they are in action at Subiaco.
Only watch.
Darren Creswell, a chance to win the game for the Swans. He's kicked it. The Swans have won. What a game of football.
Tonight, a chance for redemption. The revitalised Roos visit a Swan side out of sorts. Their hitman Harding high on form.
He's got some pace. He's got some zip. He keeps his spin.
Watch out. Behind you, the Kangaroos in Sydney tonight on Fox Footy Channel.
The new Nissan X-Trail, the compact four-wheel drive taken to the extreme, is proud to be in partnership with Fox Footy Channel.
Last week on White Line Fever, sports columnist Patrick Smith dissected the Wayne Carey interview.
It was a catastrophic mistake. It brought a club to the brink. A silly mistake is not paying your parking ticket.
We looked at fathers and sons in footy.
He pulls out the old videos and tells us, see, there's nothing wrong with the kicking style.
And Simon Madden and Matthew Lloyd spoke on the champions of Essendon. This week, join Clinton Grievous for all the big issues in the AFL, the only national football talkback TV show. That's White Line Fever, weeknights.
Trying to get on the left foot, well tackled by McCabe, back to Silvani, gives it away quickly to Ratton, he bends it back and kicks a magical goal!
G'day, I'm Brett Ratton from the Carlton Football Club, and my advice to young kids is practice as hard as you can and make sure while you're young, really enjoy footy and have a lot of fun.
The Blues skipper there, Brett Ratton, with some wonderful advice. I've got David Spriggs with me here. Now, David, what's the best piece of advice you've been given?
I think that probably the best advice I've ever been given, Dan, is from probably my grandfather or my pop. he sort of probably taught me the most in football, and it was more about just sort of teaching me about opposite side of the body skills, left foot, left handball, sort of thing like that. I guess because they're the things that are going to get you through and make you a lot better than every other player.
Now, Bruiser, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given as a football?
Don't work with humans. But unfortunately we have to. Hey, I know something about David too, Daniel.
What's that?
Well, he did something when he was a junior. Was it called a beep test? I'm not sure what that actually is. But he had the best beep test of anyone going around in the under-18s at one stage. Is that correct, David?
Yeah, that's right, Bruiser. It's just a test that's sort of put on a basketball court, and you run back and forwards a few times and it beeps and it gets faster. So I was just something I was good at because I was a good athlete when I was younger.
Is that a bit like going to a discotheque and listening to techno music? As the night goes on, the quicker the music becomes.
Oh, you're a bit of a nightlife boy, aren't you?
Actually, you look like a nightlife boy. I don't know about me.
You must have seen him around a bit.
Oh, I think I have, yeah. On the podiums.
Now, Dave, you've had a horrific injury at the start of the year, a knee reconstruction. Firstly, tell us how that's going.
Yep, knee's going well. I'm still able to do a lot of training, so I spend a fair bit of time at the club still, but it's more about just doing a lot of running and getting my fitness back now and building up the strength of my leg, which I lost from the operation I had.
Now, David, I'm sure you've seen Dean and Frankie on Auskick and around, the two boys out in the garage who know more about football than will certainly Daniel and me. But I've got to say, this is always my favourite part of the show. So how about we take a trip out to the garage and meet Dean and Frankie?
G'day, I'm Dean.
And I'm Frankie.
Welcome to another edition of the Dean and Frankie Footy Show. Frankie, what were your special highlights on the weekend?
Well, Dean, my special highlights were Nathan Brown kicking 7 goals to the Bulldogs. And did you know that he's actually kicked 13 goals in 2 games? It's a great effort.
That's sensational, Frankie. But what about the Bulldogs? Can they make the finals? Have they got a hard run home?
They do, Dean, and the hardest one is Brisbane next week at the Gabba. But I think because you know how they lost 5 games at the start of the season, I think that's going to cost them dearly and they're not going to make the finals, unfortunately.
Now, Frankie, on the other hand, what about the Melbourne Football Club? Can they make the finals? Now, they're only playing 15 minutes of football a game, it seems, at the moment, and Richo pulled them apart.
He did, Dean. It is funny, that, though. It's like as if they're asleep for the whole game until the last quarter comes. They almost hit the front against Richmond on the weekend. It was a great effort. I think if they played, 4 quarters of footy, they'd certainly be up in the top 4.
They've obviously got the potential, but on the hand of Richo, how good was he? His comeback game, a lot of pressure on him to stay at the Richmond Football Club. Do you think he's secured his spot there next year?
I definitely think so, and it's great to see his body language is all positive again. A few weeks ago it was a bit, down, but he's playing great footy now and kicked 5 goals in the weekend.
Now, Frankie, here's an interesting topic. Carlton, Richmond and Hawthorn have all had disappointed seasons in 2002, but who's the underachiever out of them all?
Well, then I think Richmond are the biggest underachievers this year because, look, they were in the Wizard Cup Grand Final at the start of the year. Everyone thought they were going to be a great force and they were in the top 4 at the end of last year. But, they've fallen to the bottom of the ladder nearly. I think they're about 3rd last now after that win against Melbourne. And, it's funny. Why do these things happen?
I don't know, Frankie, but they're all definitely underachievers in 2002, but definitely I think Hawthorn are, because they haven't had the excuses like Richmond. Richmond have had Ottens out, Richo out, Knights leaving the club. But yeah, I definitely think Hawthorn are the underachievers. They made the preliminary final themselves last year and lost to Essendon not by much. Yep. They fought it out. They did. That's definitely my point of view, Frankie, and you've got your point of view. Now, Frankie, you made an interesting point on the weekend with Dustin Fletcher.
I did, Dean. Now, there was a lot of reports at the Tribunal this week, as we know, but one person who wasn't there, who I think should have been there, was Dustin Fletcher. Now, do you know why?
No, I don't, Frankie, but you're about to tell me, hopefully.
I am, Dean. If you actually have a look at the vision here, you can see Jason Johnson having a shot for goal. It's a good-looking kick off the boot, but do you think it'll go through for a goal?
That looks like you could shade the post there, Frankie. What happened?
Well, Dean, Dustin Fletcher made sure that it didn't hit the post, and he actually hit the post with his arm, and the post was wobbled, and the ball's just snuck through for a goal. Now, we take a look at a closer shot here. We've got his arm highlighted. You can actually see his arm moving across, hitting the post, and the post was wobbled, and that's how the ball went through.
Now, Frankie, wasn't there a similar incident that occurred last year, and you received a $600 fine? Take us through that one, Frankie.
Well, Dean, you're exactly right. He has done this once before. He was reported but not suspended, but as you said, he was fined $600 for exactly the same thing.
It's a pretty tough angle, isn't it? And the men on the mark to the side there, you see Heffernan very close. Very close.
umpire's
Yeah,
called play on.
10 metres, are
He
they?
kicked it anyway.
Well, that's what we've got time for on the Dean and Frankie Footy Show. See you next week.
Thanks, Dean and Frankie. How do those boys keep up with all of their schoolwork and all of the latest footy news? How do you think they do that, Daniel?
Wonderful time management, Bruiser.
Well, time management, that is a big word for a kids program. Hey, speaking of time management, both of you were star juniors and have had great, or are having great AFL careers. So, Daniel, you first and then David, how did you combine all your footy stuff, trying to be a league football hero, but also stay with all your schoolwork and stay up to date at school?
Well, it wasn't too hard, Bruce. It was a little bit difficult sometimes, but my parents were always on my back to make sure that I had all my homework done and all the schoolwork I needed to do completed, so that wasn't really an issue.
And what about you, David?
Yeah, well, I'd have a kick of the footy at lunchtime, Bruiser, and then I'd go home straight away and I'd watch a bit of telly, then I'd do all my homework and then pretty much off to footy training straight after that.
That's right. We're very well managed, us boys, Bruiser.
Yeah.
Our guest tips to this week, Bruiser, is Jesse from Pascoe Vale, Auskick Centre, and he has chosen Collingwood, Carlton, Richmond, Western Bulldogs, Kangaroos, Essendon, West Coast and St Kilda. Thanks, Jesse, for your tips. We'll send you a Bobble Dobble hero from your favourite team.
Actually, I'm surprised you're actually sending him one. I thought there was a glaring omission in his tips there.
Yes, I didn't want to bring it up.
Yeah, well, did he? He must be a very good judge, Jesse, not to have Hawthorn in his tips.
And David noticed no Geelong either.
Oh, exactly. But he also had a little cat as part of the photograph.
Oh, terrific. If you want to be our guest tipster and win a prize, send in your photo and tips to the address on your screen. Auskicking Around, Lockbag 4444, South Melbourne 3205, or auskickingaround@foxfooty.com.au. David, thanks for being on the show. Good luck with your knee and your recovery, and look forward to seeing you next year playing back at your best.
Here.
And Bruce, it's been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure. And what a fine young man David is, and he's going to be a wonderful footballer and got a great career in front of him, Daniel.
He certainly has. Good luck to the Cats next time they play, but not against the Hawks in a couple of weeks' time. So good luck to you, and we'll see you next time as we go Auskicking Around.